Hi, this is Yunesh Kumar. Today we are going to see game theory in operation research. First, we are going to see the introduction of game theory. So, first, what is game theory? See, game theory was developed for the purpose of analyzing the competitive situations when there is two or more players who will have a chance to win or who will have a chance to gain, right? So it was developed for the purpose of analyzing competitive situations like involving conflicts interest. It is also said like game theory is used for decision making under conflicting situations where there are one or more opponents. That is, the opponents are called as players, where there are one or more players. The game theory can be classified into several categories. We are just going to see some important categories which are listed below. First one is 2-person and n-persons. 2-person is number of players is 2. Okay, it is also known as 2-person game theory. If the number of players is 2, it is known as 2-persons game theory. If the number of players is n numbers, we doesn't know the numbers of players, then it is called n number games, right? Then zero sum and non-zero sum game. See, in a game, the sum of point won equal the sum of point loss. எவ்வளோ வின் பண்ணியிருக்குமோ அவ்வளோ லாஸ் பண்ணியிருக்கோம். Okay, the number of win is equal to number of loss. Then that is one player win at expense of other player, which means loss is equal to gain. That is win, or win is equal to loss. Then it is called zero sum. To the contrary, if the sum of gain or losses is not equal to 0, which is not equal to 0, as same as seen in the previous one, that zero sum, then it is either said to be a positive or negative. Okay, so the contrary, if the sum of gains or loss is not equal to 0, it is either positive or negative. The answer is either positive or negative. Then it is known as a non-zero sum game, which means the value is not 0, which has not been balanced, okay, which has not been equal. An example of non-zero sum game is the case of two competing firms, each with choice of regarding its advertising campaign. In such situation, both firms may gain or lose, though their gain or lose may not be equal. It may be vary. It is not equal always. It will vary, right? See, the next one is the game of perfect and imperfect information. See, if a competitor can able to judge the strategy of the player, okay, of the opponent player, then it is known as perfect information game. If the competitor cannot able to discover the strategy what the opponent player is used, or you cannot able to try to guess the real situation, then it is called as imperfect information, right? Then pure and mixed strategic games. See, if a player selects the same strategy every time, each and every time, if the player selects the same kind of strategy for the game, then it is referred as pure strategy. Whereas if the player selects a different course of action, different strategies for different play, okay, he selects one strategy for one play, the other for the other play, with some particular probability distribution, then it is called as a mixed strategy, right? There are some assumptions in game theory, so now we are going to see some of them. The assumption of game theory, the first one, there are finite number of competitors, there will be a finite number of players, right? The players act reasonably. Every player strives to maximize the gains. Okay, the main aim of the players is to maximize the gain and minimize the losses. The choices are assumed to be made simultaneously so that no player knows the opponent's choice. Okay, see, no player can't able to know the choice of the opponents until they have decided his own course of actions. Only then they can able to know. Only then, if they know the own course of actions, what kind of actions they are going to do, then only they can able to know what the opponent is doing. Right? Each player has finite number of possible course of actions. The payoff is fixed and predetermined. It is fixed and it is also predetermined, and it must represent utilities. There are some basic terminology which we are supposed to know before entering into the game theory sums. Okay, and the first one is player. So who is a player? A player is a participant. The one who participates in the game is called a player. Then strategy, pure strategy and mixed strategy, that we already see. What is pure strategy? It is a It is the one where same course of action is chosen for all the games, all the events by a player. Then it is called pure strategy. If a player chooses different course of actions for different strategy with particular probability distribution, then it is called mixed strategy. The next one is optimal strategy. Okay, so what is meant by optimal strategy? The course of action which maximize the profit of a player. The course of action which maximize the profit of the player or minimize the losses. So whatsoever the action is taken by the player, it should optimize, it should maximize the player's profit. Then it is called optimal strategy. What is a saddle point? A saddle point is an element of matrix, both element, small element in the row and larger element in the column, which we will say minimax and max mini. That we will see when sum we do. Right? So here the saddle point is an element of a matrix that is both the smallest element in the row and the largest element in the column. Right? Which means it is also said as an equilibrium point in the theory of games. Then payoff. The outcome of a player. The outcome of playing the game. The outcome, the value, the outcome of playing the game is called payoff matrix. Sorry, playoff. Then what is playoff matrix? It is a table. It is a matrix table which shows the different strategy. The final outcome of the different strategy is called payoff matrix. The most important thing is value of the game. It is referred by V. It is referred or denoted by the letter V. Right? So it is the value of the game is the expected outcome per play when the players follows their normal strategy. Okay, that is called value of the game. So this is some basic strategies, so some basic terminologies we are supposed to know before entering into the game theory sums. Hope you like this video. Do share with your friends. If you doesn't subscribe my channel so you'll get a new update notifications. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you.